The UFC Apex hosted one of the most anticipated WWE NXT events in recent memory, Battleground. Trick Williams put his NXT championship on the line against the debuting All Ego Ethan Page. Was Trick ready to fight someone he had no time to prepare for? Roxanne Perez faced the unique threat, the powerful TNA Knockouts World Champion Jordynne Grace. Could the Prodigy fend off the threat of one of the most dominant women in the wider wrestling world? The inaugural Women's North American Champion would be crowned in a ladder match, with Fallon Henley, Jada Parker, Kalani Jordan, Lash Legend, Michin, or Sol Ruca walk out with the gold. Obafemi continued his dominant North American Championship reign, facing two dangerous men. Would Wes Lee or Joe Coffey steal his gold? Nathan Frazier and Axiom put the NXT Tag Team Championships on the line against the OC. Could Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson add more gold to their impressive careers? Shayna Baszler looked to leave a lasting impression on Lola Vice. Was the Queen of Spades ready for what Vice would bring in a brutal NXT underground environment? Battleground was certain to deliver a unique experience driven by the environment inside the UFC Apex. Hey there, welcome everybody to Ridiculously Raw, the most must-see show on YouTube and Streaming.com today. I am your host, Anthony Florio, joined as always by good old MF Michael Fletcher and the phenom Michael Bullock, fresh off an abbreviated Raw chat this evening. But let's not waste any more time. We got a very loaded show. We're going to talk about NXT Battleground. We're going to do Game 2 of the Celtics chat, Monday Night Raw, and then I will quickly set the table for this Friday's TNA Against All Odds pay-per-view on TNA+. So, first match of the night, the ladder match for the inaugural NXT Women's North American Championship. Michin, Jada Parker, Fallon Henley, Lash Legend, Sol Ruca, Kalani Jordan. Winner of the match in 12 minutes and 24 seconds, and the inaugural NXT Women's North American Champion, Kalani Jordan. Well, shocker. This was a genuinely shocking result. While Jordan was a dark horse candidate, Sol Ruca, Fallon Henley, and Lash Legend all had a clearer path to the gold. However, it was very much earned. Jordan has been one of the best in-ring workers of the women's division since her arrival. It was more ready for gold than Lola Vice, who beat her to capture the women's breakout tournament contract last year. This was a major statement that solidifies Jordan as the rising star of the women's division. Even if she loses the gold quickly, which is possible if she faces Fallon Henley, she will always be the first to hold this title. Match itself was solid and included some unique creative spots. Michin was especially the ring general throughout for obvious reasons. However, the lack of energy due to the setup of the arena dampened the impact. 3 1/4, 3.5 stars. Not much more to say. MF, shocker of the night, Kalani Jordan, the inaugural Women's North American Champion.
Yeah, no doubt about it. This one took everybody by surprise. Nobody expected this to happen. Nobody expected Kalani, of all people, to win the title, and she did it. You know, Lady Luck was riding on her side, and you know what? It was a great moment for her. Congratulations to Kalani Jordan. History made, unprecedented crowning as we witness history as she becomes the first ever women's North American champion. Hats off to everybody else. It was a 3 1/4 to 3.5 star bout, and like we were saying, we basically wrote off Kalani Jordan because we thought she was too young. We thought she wasn't gonna be that big of a threat, or that she was gonna be the one that was gonna win it all. And you know what? Shame on us, because we totally dismissed her for no apparent reason, and we were the idiots that wrote her off because of the fact that she was too young. We were naive, we were stupid, and we should have been more respectful to Kalani Jordan. And I think, on the behalf of myself, Anthony Florio, and Michael Bullock, we apologize to Kalani. We disrespected you, and you went out there and you shoved it in all of our asses by proving that no, that your time was now. You deserve this moment. Congratulations, Kalani. A well-deserving championship win. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, 3 1/4, 3.5. I mean, yeah, this definitely took us all by surprise here, but yeah, yeah, we all disrespected Kalani Jordan, thinking like she's too young. There's no way she's gonna do it. But no, this was her moment, and yeah, congratulations to her, and yeah, to all the Kalani Jordan fans who stuck by her. We apologize to you for the three of us disrespecting her. So, nothing more to say. Let's move on to the next match, Florio.
All right, MF, you started off quickly. NXT Tag Team Championships on the line. Nathan Frazier and Axiom defending against the Good Brothers, Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson. Winners of the match, 11 minutes and 38 seconds, and still the NXT Tag Team Champions, Nathan Frazier and Axiom, MF front and center.
Yeah, no, good matchup. Another 3.25 to 3.5 stars. Solid battle. I'm wondering where this goes now, because you can't do the Good Brothers again. You can't do the OC again. They got beat clean, straight 1, 2, 3. So they're now out of the picture. Who do you put next for that tag team title shot? So it makes things a little interesting more than anything else. But I must admit, the right team went over. You know, I've been one of the few negative Nancys, as they would say, about Axiom and Nathan Frazier. At first, I felt like they didn't deserve to be the tag team champions, but they're slowly but surely winning me over little by little. And this was without a doubt a great victory for them by knocking off one of the premier tag teams in WWE in the OC, because of the body of work of Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, not just in WWE, but in New Japan, Ring of Honor, all around the world. They're one of the best tag teams out there, and they won. So hats off to them. 3.25, 3.5. Bullock, it is yours.
Yeah, this is about another 3.25, 3.5 here. I mean, yeah, what's next now for Axiom and Nathan Frazier? Because the Good Brothers got beaten clean, and you can't run it back with them. So it's going to be very interesting to see what they do with this. So nothing more to say. It's your Florio.
This is about as good as the OC has looked since returning to WWE. The veterans came to work, pulling out athletic moves that rivaled their athletic opponents. The setting continued to let the action down, but if "This is awesome" chant did slip out for a few seconds when the in-ring performance was moving at its fastest. Despite strong story behind the action, the drama was lacking down the stretch. It never truly felt like the OC had a real chance to win, but perhaps that should be reevaluated for a potential rematch, since Gallows and Anderson work better in NXT. 3.25 stars for me. Moving on now to the NXT Underground match. Lola Vice squaring off against Shayna Baszler. Winner of the match in 10 minutes and 17 seconds via referee stoppage. It was Lola Vice. Michael Bullock, Lola Vice wins it in 10-17 referee stoppage.
Yeah, I'll give this about 3.25 on this one. I mean, this was a good underground match here. I mean, and yeah, Lola Vice, she proved that she was even tougher than Shayna Baszler. So now the big question is, what's next for Lola Vice now that she settled her score with Shayna Baszler? So we'll have to wait and see on it. So nothing more to say. It's yours, Florio.
3.25. This match was made for this format, helped by the loud pounding of the wrestlers around the ring. Baszler made Vice look dangerous throughout this hard-hitting fight. NXT Underground has been a hit so far and should remain a staple for a long time to come in the brand. Lola Vice and Eddie Thorpe are the established dominant forces of the format, and many others would thrive in this setting. It is questionable if Vice was ready to pick up wins over both Natalya and Shayna Baszler in short order, but NXT has committed to Lola. She will need to prove she is worthy of it quickly. These wins need to push Vice into NXT Women's Championship contention. Anything else would be a waste of two main roster veterans losing big. 3.25 stars, MF, Lola Vice. Another huge win. Shayna Baszler in Underground, 10-17.
Yeah, this was a solid matchup. This was right up my alley. I love the Underground matches now. And for this to be at the Apex was absolutely perfect. They utilized the building, they utilized the fight. It went all over the place. and it really felt like a true matchup. And then the ending was epic. The ending was as good as you're going to get. Lola Vice with that back fist, dropping Shayna Baszler, dropping some hammer fists right on top of her dome. Referee basically does a Herb Dean, basically pushes Lola off Shayna, say, get off or it's over. You're done. I'm calling it here. This was as good of a fight as we could have gotten. Like you said, 3.25. Yes, it could have been a little better. I really would have loved it if they would have utilized the octagon, but that's just me being me there. Little nitpick, but it was still a good match. I thought they did a really good job. And like you said, they gotta utilize Underground a little more often because it works. It works. I like the format. So nothing more to say. Florio, next fight.
Triple threat match for the NXT North American Championship. Champion Obafemi defending against Wes Lee and Joe Coffey. Winner of the match in 12 minutes and 3 seconds. And still the NXT North American Champion. It is Obafemi. The expected Gallus interference hurt the pace of this bout, but that did not stop what was another quality title defense for NXT's resident monster. No one in WWE has looked more consistently impressive in the last year than Femi since his debut. The way he took down both men at the end left little question of who is the North American champion. Hopefully NXT will rebuild Wes Lee for a singles bout next month against Femi, maybe in Toronto. That is still a money match for the right stage. Joe did his job, but was clearly the odd man out. Give it about a theme of the night, 3.25, 3.5 stars. So not much more to say. MF Obafemi continues to reign as the North American champion. And who knows? I still think he and Wes Lee is the big money match. Maybe Toronto next month.
No doubt about it. Definitely that. Obafemi's the breakout star of the year. There's no doubt about it. I don't think there's any more argument here. Obafemi has become that guy. He is exactly what WWE is looking for. He is the future of WWE as we know it. This guy should get the rocket pack on the back. Give him Trick Williams. Give him the NXT title. Get that fight as soon as possible because that guy is going to be box office. Just like how Trick Williams is box office right now with NXT, Obafemi is box office, man. The future looks bright for this young man. And this man came out of nowhere and has exploded as one of the top guys in the company, man. I mean, this dude is the real deal. What he did in this triple threat was amazing. No shame to Wes Lee. No shame to Joe Coffey. But you're in Obafemi's world, boys. You're not in there. But one thing is very interesting. Post-match, the three Gallus boys started beating up on Wes Lee. That got me thinking. Florio, who did Wes Lee used to run with back in TNA?
The Rascals, baby.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Rascals versus Gallus, I'm for it.
Dude,
I can see it.
Forbidden Door? I mean, that Forbidden Door got broke open because of Jordan Grace, and we know there's a WWE, well, at least I won't say WWE, but there is a little bit of a TNA, NXT little partnership going on.
This is true.
I mean, why not? Zachary Wentz? Zachary Wentz,
Trey Miguel, and Wes Lee versus the Gallus boys. You do that, shut up and take my damn money.
Get ready. Hey, Bullock, I hope you have a big enough ring for that fight. And I hope you have enough security for that fight, too, because if the Rascals show up, I don't think you boys are, I don't think you or NXT is ready for the Rascals. That's all I'm saying. But it's yours. This was at least another 3.25, 3.5 star bout.
Yeah, I agree. This is another 3.25-star bout, and yeah, I'm with you. Oba Femi to me is the breakout star of the year. I mean, when he won that breakout tournament, he got his opportunity at the North American title, and he's run away with it up to this point. I mean, yeah, you put him into an NXT title match against Trick Williams. I mean, but I think for him to do that, he's going to have to eventually drop the title. We just don't know when. But all I can say is Oba Femi has really proven himself so far here in NXT. So, yeah, 3.25 stars. Let's move on.
All right, and we move on to the highly anticipated matchup for the NXT Women's Championship. The champion, Roxanne Perez, defending the title against TNA Knockouts champion, Jordynne Grace. Winner of the match, 13 minutes and 57 seconds, and still the NXT Women's Champion, Roxanne Perez, but this one was not without controversy. Tatum Paxley getting involved, and then, was that Ash by Elegance I saw?
It
was AKA Dana Brooke.
She's back, but we'll get into that in a minute. But
yes.
As soon as I saw her came out, I'm like, Fletch is probably has a smile of a Cheshire cat.
I was doing more than that, but I digress.
13:57. Roxanne Perez retains. MF. Wow.
A little disappointing at the end. The match delivered. This was a great matchup. This was a great fight. 3.5 stars. However, the interference kind of hurt a little bit. But as you notice, Tatum Paxley showed up, and we were all thinking, oh, is she going after the NXT title? I know she's been having her eye on that belt. No, she went after the TNA Knockouts title. We were thinking, whoa, wait a minute. That's a game changer. So she starts to walk away with the belt. Then Ash by Elegance grabs the belt, thinking, no, honey. You're not taking this belt. This is TNA property. Well, here's the problem. Jordynne Grace saw that, grabbed the belt, knocked out Tatum Paxley, knocked out Ash by Elegance, and then went back into the ring. Nice variation, nice setup, pop rocks, 1, 2, 3. We see that Roxanne wins it again. And look, for what it's worth, this was a great matchup, tremendous showcase by Jordynne Grace. And if you notice, she got hurt in the fight. I guess one of her earrings got ripped off at some point in the fight because she was bleeding from the ear pretty badly. I don't know at what point she got that the earring got ripped off her ear, but she got hurt pretty good. So there was some good blood right around her earlobe. And she even showed a photo of it after, and no, I don't want to talk about that anymore. But yeah, I mean, and the funny thing was, we heard Gail Kim was in the building. She was in the crowd. We saw that, but nobody knew Ash by Elegance was there. Nobody knew. They absolutely kept this from everybody. Nobody knew that Ash by Elegance was there. Now the Forbidden Door got opened again. Ash by Elegance walked through. Former WWE star, Dana Brooke. But now the wheels are starting to spin a little bit. We've seen some people coming from TNA. And now, well, I'll talk about it later on when we preview the TNA special on TNA Plus later on. But still, good enough. Great matchup. 3.5 stars. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, 3.5 stars for me. I was gonna give it 3 3/4, but the ending, I think, definitely took something away from it, but still, it was an enjoyable match. I mean, Jordynne Grace gave Roxanne Perez all she could handle. And then, like you said, I mean, Tatum Paxley comes out, and you're thinking, yeah, she's going after the NXT Women's title. And then, as soon as she grabbed the Knockouts title, I'm like thinking, oh boy, that's not cool there. So, and that's when Ash by Elegance, aka Dana Brooks, shows up, and Roxanne Perez took advantage of that situation and got the win. And Florio, I know I talked about this with Florio, but Fletch, I don't know if you saw on social media, it was backstage when Roxanne Perez was being interviewed, and all of a sudden CM Punk comes out and he tries to give her some advice and saying, "Oh, thanks. What a hypocrite you are." I was like, "Oh shoot." Thank goodness AJ Lee is not around, because if she...
Oh, no.
No, I said thank goodness.
No. There is another someone that actually he hangs out with. Someone that Roxanne legitly hates. You know who I'm talking about. She's actually coming back very soon from injury.
Would that be
Cora Jade?
Oh,
another
and
bestie.
if that is the case, oh, Roxanne, you better hope and pray Cora's out longer, because you disrespected someone that Cora Jade grew up watching. I mean, don't think for a minute that she was sitting back and listening to that. And when she gets cleared, you know she's coming for that NXT Women's title, and she just may beat some respect into you, Roxanne. So,
well, the thing is, I kind of feel like this is interesting because Cora hurt Roxanne Perez. So in hindsight, what she got, and the thing was, Cora and Roxanne hasn't really gotten into each other yet, or hasn't had a brawl with each other since Roxanne got hurt the first time around. So trust me, Michael Bullock, there's actually some retribution, and there's a receipt that Roxanne Perez wants to lay on Cora Jade. So this is one of those instances where you got two heel women going at it like a bunch of Hellcats. This is like bratty sisters fighting. Daddy tried to get involved, and basically, in one hindsight, she basically told CM Punk to go piss off. So, I don't know. This might be one of those where if Roxanne Perez sees Cora Jade might be dead on spot, because Roxanne might want to kick her ass for all of the BS and all of the craziness that happened to her all those years ago. Remember, Cora Jade turned on Roxanne Perez and betrayed her first before anything else.
Interesting. So, nothing more to say. It's yours, Florio.
If any NXT fans were skeptical about checking out TNA, Jordynne Grace delivered in this spot, showing out for the entire Knockouts division. She and Roxanne Perez worked this more like a Knockouts match than an NXT women's bout, and it helped them stand out. The Prodigy has rarely looked this comfortable with an opponent, working at an impressive speed without slowing. Unfortunately, a lame finish let down the action that came before, making sure Perez versus Grace was not quite a match of the year contender. Still, this was entirely unlike anything WWE has produced in a long time. Hopefully, the TNA partnership will grow to allow more big matches like this in the future. More TNA wrestlers need to appear than just Grace, and a woman who was in NXT last year, Ash by Elegance. So, 3.5 stars. I'll even go as far as to call it the fight of the night. So, let's move on now to the main event of the evening. For the NXT Championship, champion Trick Williams defending against All Ego Ethan Page. Winner of the match, 12 minutes and 11 seconds, and still the NXT champion. It is Trick Williams. Michael Bullock, Mr. NXT, you lead off on the main event. 12:11, time of the fall.
Yeah, I'll give this about maybe about 3 1/4, 3.5 on this one. I mean, this was a solid main event. I mean, yeah, the outcome to me was never a doubt. I mean, Ethan Page definitely gave him all he could handle, but yeah, there was no way Trick Williams was losing this. So nothing more for me to say, Florio, as I give it to you. All I can say is, whoop that Trick!
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah, man. I like it. So, All Ego was the obvious leader here, sometimes pushing Trick past the speed that he was comfortable working. However, the challenger motivated the NXT champion to work extra heated. It was still a clear indication that Trick has room to grow as the top man in NXT, but it was also a strong showcase that he can get there working with great competitors. If I'm going to be honest with you, the women should have main evented, even with the messy finish, since there was no big surprise left for NXT to deliver by the end. This would have been a cool spot to provide another shock with a TNA arrival, or establish Trick's next challenger at least. With only 1 month before Heatwave, only Noam Dar is an option, which is a fine but unspectacular choice. 3 1/4, teetering on 3.5. Not much more to say. MF, quick thought on the main event.
Yeah, and you hit the nail on the head. A little bit of a disappointment that the main event went the way it did. It was a 3.5-star match. It was still good. People were asking for Joe Henry. People were asking for Joe Henry at the end. They were hoping for there was there was a chant of I believe. Anthony Floyd, you know this better than anybody else.
Yes,
say his name and he'll appear. I believe in Joe Henry. If that would have happened, oh man, the internet would have melted down. Even though Michael Bullock probably has no idea who this is, I know a little bit about Joe Henry because this guy used to be ICW. He was a mainstay of ICW right back in the day. And yes, Anthony, all the stuff that he does in TNA, he used to do in ICW, especially those specialty music montages. That was very, very, very Joe Henry of him. So yes, he used to do that a lot in ICW as well. So yeah, solid match. Nothing more to say. And yeah, overall review.
7.5 to 8 out of 10. Battleground was a fine premium live event without memorable moments. Kalani Jordan's win to open the night saw the only new champion crowned. The only surprise appearance was an unheralded arrival from Ash by Elegance that merely led to her getting knocked down outside. With Heatwave a month away, NXT ended its major feuds with definitive results that leave little immediate excitement on the horizon in any division. The wrestling was all at least good with a few clear standouts. Roxanne Perez versus Jordan Grace was the kind of match NXT TNA could run back 3 more times without fail. Lola Vice picked up the most important win of her career against the Game Shayna Baszler. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson delivered a late career-defining effort against Nathan Frazier and Axiom. The shame is that none of it felt like a true PLE. The UFC Apex was quieter. It was quieter than the WWE Performance Center, and flat results left no room for major conversation. 7.5 to 8 out of 10. MF, you know that atmosphere better than I do. A lot of people didn't really feel it last night.
No, it didn't. Even I have to say that it wasn't really that good. The crowd was bad. It was bad. It felt like they felt this wasn't really a true NXT crowd. This didn't feel like a true WWE crowd, and this was a little bit shocking. I kind of felt like, it felt flat in certain areas. But the thing is, with the Apex, it's such a small venue, so you weren't going to get. You could maybe fit about 1,000 people in there. So yeah, but I don't know. It felt like it was more tourist attraction people than actual wrestling fans. So yeah, even when they do the fight nights, it's very, very, very rare that you get any crowd reaction. I mean, they made an effort. They definitely were chanting "whoop that trick." That was probably the loudest the fans were all night.
And if I'm going to be honest, I think when it comes to trying to do the event there and with the crowd, I think it was a swing and a miss.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I mean, it was. I'll give them the effort for it because you're going outside the box. Plus, this is WWE and UFC coming together. They gave them that building. That was their building. That was their house. So it didn't work out. It didn't pan out the way that it did. So it is what it is. This would have been like if UFC ever did an actual fight night event at the WWE headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut. That's exactly what it would have been like. The crowd probably wouldn't have been too enthused or anything else because that's not their style. That's not their brand. So, you kind of are infringing on our territory. Hey, get off my lawn type moment here. But hey, it is what it is. But it was still set at least 7.5. I mean, the action was fine. It's just the crowd was dead. I mean, that's the only negative because the action itself was actually pretty good. Michael Bullock, I mean, you can't blame the wrestlers. You can't blame the performance. It's just the crowd. You went into a crowd that was a little more foreign than usual. That's where the problem lied.
Yeah, 7.5 for me. I mean, you can't fault the wrestlers. They did everything they could. It was just the crowd was just dead. I mean, especially in an environment like that. I mean, I give WWE credit for trying. I mean, especially with the partnership with them and UFC, but with the area and the crowd itself, it was a swing and a miss. I mean, that's my only constructive criticism. But like I said, I mean, I understand that they wanted to try something different, but if I'm going to be real honest with you guys, it should have been in an actual arena in Las Vegas, this event tonight. I mean, last night. I think it's the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, right? Am I correct?
That is correct. Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, if I'm going to be honest with you, this should have been at the T-Mobile Arena. Just my honest opinion. So
I don't think T-Mobile should have been it because believe it or not, Bullock, in Vegas, there's so many different arenas. You could have done this in MGM. You could have done this in Mandalay Bay.
Well, they could have done it in any of the arenas.
Yeah, you could. I mean, there's a lot of arenas in Vegas. Hell, you could have even done this in Caesar Palace.
But they could have done it in any of those places.
Yeah,
but
so I mean,
the UFC Apex. I mean, look, I give them credit for trying, but I'm sorry to say it was a swing and a miss.
Yeah, hell, you could have even done it in the Sphere. How awesome would it have been in the brand new Sphere that they're promoting? As a matter of fact, the NHL draft is going to be there. So I mean, they could have pulled it off there.
But again, at the end of the day, I'll give them their credit for trying. But at the end of the day, it was a swing and a miss. It's yours, Florio.
All right, let's move on now to the Celtics chat. Drew Holiday led the scoring. Derek White added a chase down block. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown pitched in as well with their passing and defense. The Dallas Mavericks can stop worrying about who Boston's best player is. Everyone is contributing to the Celtics' quest for an unprecedented 18th NBA championship. Holiday had 26 points and 11 rebounds, and White sprinted down the court to swat away the Mavericks' last chance Sunday night as Boston defeated Dallas 105-98 to take a 2-0 lead in the 2024 NBA Finals. Quick check of the box score here. It was Drew Holiday with a double-double, 26 points and 11 rebounds. And Jaylen Brown, 21 points and 7 rebounds. Or I should say 21 points and 7 assists, rather. Jason Tatum nearly had a triple-double. 18 points, 12 assists, 9 rebounds. Derek White with 18 points and 5 rebounds. Porzingis, not as productive as game 1. 12 points, 4 rebounds. And then Luka Doncic, another triple-double for Dallas, 32 points, 11 rebounds, 11 assists. PJ Washington, 17 points, 7 rebounds. Kyrie Irving, 16 points, 6 assists. Gafford, 13 points, 9 rebounds. Nearly had a double-double of his own. Jones had 11. The bench didn't do much. And as we go to the team numbers, Dallas shot 47.5% from the field. Boston, 45.2%. Both teams were absolutely abysmal from three-point range. Dallas, 6 of 26 for 23%. Boston, no better. 10 out of 39 for almost 26%. Celtics, 19 of 20 from the free throw line, 95%. Dallas, 16 out of 24 for about 67%. 10-9 offensive rebounds, Boston. 34-31 defensive rebounds for Dallas. 43-41 the rebound edge to Dallas. Assists, 29-21 Boston. Steals, 10-5 Boston. Blocks, 5-3 Boston. Mavericks committed 15 turnovers. Celtics committed 11 turnovers. Fast break points, 15-7 Boston. Points in the paint, 54-46 Dallas. Celtics committed 15 fouls, including 1 technical foul. Mavericks committed 17 fouls. Dallas's largest lead at one point was 7, but Boston had a lead as large as 14. And the Celtics defeat the Mavericks 105-98. They lead the NBA Finals 2-0. Michael Bullock, nothing left for me to say except 2 down, 2 to go. Halfway home to banner number 18. How you doing?
Well, I mean, I feel pretty good, but the thing is, I mean, yes, you're halfway there, and the thing is, we need 2 more victories, because you never know what Dallas is going to be like once they get back home to the American Airlines Center. But this is the perfect example of what a team victory is. I mean, everybody's talking about Tatum and Brown needing to score a lot of points for their team, but this is an example of what team is, because you have other guys who can contribute, and it's where Tatum and Brown don't need to do too much. I mean, yes, Tatum dished out some assists here, but Drew Holiday was the leading scorer. And I'll tell you what, I mean, Brad Stevens right now looks like a genius for making this trade. And I mean, you trade away Marcus Smart, and everybody was like, why would the Celtics do that? But you get a guy who can shoot the ball better, play defense, and and brings championship experience. That's what Drew Holiday brings. I mean, yes, Jaylen Brown also had a pretty good game, but this is an example of not only team offense, but team defense. And to me, one of the plays of the game was at the end of that third quarter, when it was a 6-point game at the time, and Peyton Pritchard hits a 3-pointer at the buzzer. And that's when the Celtics really put it all together in that fourth quarter and really put it away. And Luka Doncic, I mean, he has a triple-double, and it wasn't even enough. And the thing is, and this is what we said going into this, is, I mean, yes, if you have one of them, whether it's Doncic or Kyrie Irving, have one of them go off, but don't have the others and his teammates help out. Doncic has done his part, but Kyrie Irving so far in the first 2 games hasn't been really good. And the others really haven't contributed that much. And now you head into a must-win game 3 on Wednesday night. And I'm going to ask you guys this right here, right now. I said it was a must-win situation for game 3. You say it, Florio?
Yes.
What about you?
You don't want to go down 3-0 against this team. Not against this team. You don't want to go down 3-0.
Dallas needs to win. Dallas needs to win both games.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas cannot afford to lose any more games. They cannot lose game 3 or game 4, because if they do, it ends in 5. I'll even say this. If they don't win game 3, Boston sweeps Dallas in 4.
Wow. So you're
my sentiments exactly.
Wow. So you guys are saying if they don't win this game tomorrow, Wednesday night, the series ends on Friday.
They get swept. Yes.
Because there's only so much that one guy can do for one team. I mean, Luka's got to be frustrated. I mean, he's got to be sitting there like, okay, guys, where's the help I need? He needs to get in Kyrie Irving's face and say, hey, man, where's the guy that has stepped up throughout the playoffs, especially in the conference finals?
The problem is, Michael Bullock, is that Kyrie's gotten locked down. It's not that he's getting his opportunities. He's getting his shots. It's that the Boston D is basically doing exactly what the blueprint was laid out. We said it the entire time.
And it's an example of team
either Luka
defense.
goes off or Kyrie goes off.
And it's a pure example of team defense.
Exactly. So that's why they're doing what they're doing. They're absolutely, and that was the thing that we were saying the whole time. If Luka gets going, fine. Let Luka get his points, but you gotta shut Kyrie down. If Kyrie gets going, fine. You let him go crazy, you gotta shut Luka down. If both gets going, now you're screwed. And we saw a more fire, more intensity, everything else. It's just that Boston made the key plays at the end of the game that got them to the finish line on this one. Because let's be realistic, Boston did not play a great game. Like, God forbid, will you lay off the effing threes, Boston? How many times do I have to effing tell you this? You live and die by the threes, and this was an example of that. You don't need it. Take the ball to the freaking hole. How many times have I been yelling about that? And I'm not the only one.
Well, this time they got away with it because they ended up winning the game. But they need a better effort. I mean, especially taking it to the hole, as they say. So, 2 games down, 2 to go. But as an old saying goes, the job is not done yet. So, you got to take this one on the road, and Game 3 is a must-win. And I'm with these guys here. Dallas doesn't win this game Wednesday night. This series is over. It is done. Get out the brooms. But as the old saying goes, again, it's one game at a time, boys. So nothing more to say. Let's move on to Monday Night Raw.
Just days out from Clash at the Castle in Glasgow, Scotland, WWE rolled into the Huntington Center in Toledo, Ohio for the go-home edition of Monday Night Raw. What did Drew McIntyre have in store for World Heavyweight Champion Damian Priest after being driven through a table to close out last week's show? What was next in the budding soap opera involving Dominic Mysterio and Women's World Champion Liv Morgan? Find out with this recap of a show that also featured the latest in the rivalries between Lyra Valkyria and Damage Control, Ilya Dragunov and Braun Breaker, and Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn and Chad Gable. We started it off with an in-ring segment. Drew McIntyre cuts a promo, interrupted by the Judgment Day, and I'll sum it up by saying this. There was not much substance from the promo segment. It did set up a high-stakes main event for later in the show with implications for the upcoming PLE. In that regard, it was a success. Drew McIntyre versus Finn Balor. Drew McIntyre wins. Judgment Day is barred from ringside. Finn Balor wins. Judgment Day is allowed at ringside. Sounds a little familiar, doesn't it? So, and then backstage, Dominic Mysterio entered the Judgment Day's clubhouse only to find Women's World Champion Liv Morgan, who offered him her hotel room key. He did not bite. Yeah, okay. So,
I don't know about you guys, but I'm starting to feel a little uneasy about this whole thing.
You're feeling uneasy. MF and I, well, That's all I'm gonna say. So
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
and don't think I didn't hear any of those rolling gurrs out of MF's area. Don't think I didn't hear any of those. I
Oh,
heard
Dios mío. My goodness.
them, as he would say. So
But man, oh man, Liv Morgan, she's literally playing with fire.
oh yeah, he is
Because
literally.
I'll bet you bottom dollar. I've said this before, and I'm gonna say it again. Rhea is probably fuming. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there are flames coming out of her head.
I will say
Yeah.
this though, but there's one very telling thing. Yes, we talked about the key card that was laid down, but you notice, and I brought this up, guys, because one of my buddies brought it to my attention. They talked about the key card. Finn Balor sleight of hand. He actually grabbed the key card. He had possession of it, unbeknownst to all the other members. Balor has the key. He has the card. He's got the key in his hands. Not Dom, not Carlito, not JD.
What does that tell you, Fletch?
That tells me that maybe Liv might be playing Dom Dom, but something tells me that Balor's the mastermind. Balor might be playing everybody and using Liv as to possibly do a chess move, as they say.
Oh boy, my goodness.
We shall see. We shall see. All right, gentlemen, let's move on to the first match of the night. A return match from 3 weeks ago when these two battled in the Raw finals of the Queen of the Ring tournament. Lyra Valkyria versus Io Sky. Io Sky gets a measure of payback here. She wins the match in 10.5 minutes. 3.25 stars. There is an argument to be made that Valkyria did not need another loss after her Queen of the Ring defeat at the hands of Nia Jax, but this heats up the feud and makes it less one-sided while introducing fresh faces into it. A strong match and a post-match angle that propelled things forward made this a quality segment. Solid 3.25 stars. MF, your thoughts? And hey, Katana Chance and Kayden Carter came out. We could be looking at a possible 6-woman tag down the line. Damage Control against Lyra Valkyria, Kayden Carter, and Katana Chance.
Yeah, but the thing was, I think Io might be a little more unstable than what we're thinking, boys. Because did you see the look on Dakota's face and on Kyrie when Io ran back into the ring to start the beatdown again? It was like she wasn't satisfied with just winning the match, even though Dakota and Kyrie definitely got involved. But the look on Dakota's face is like, I think we might have a problem. I think
Dakota and Kyrie have a problem.
Yeah. I think Io she might be gone, because I think, I don't know if it's just mentally and emotionally she's just demoralized, and I get it. She lost the title at WrestleMania. She had a shot at Queen of the Ring. That got snuffed out in the semifinal battle. So all of a sudden, she's hearing voices in her head and she's just reacting.
Dakota and Kyrie are probably like, whoa. We just helped you get the victory. Why are you doing this?
Yeah. And that's making things very interesting, in my opinion, because now what type of Io Sky are we getting? Because this one here, I'm intrigued. I gotta admit it. I am intrigued. Yes, I get it. The loss was very bad for the Valkyrie. She didn't deserve that. But what we're getting on the other side, this might be very interesting. Plus, on top of that, she doesn't even have her. Remember, the one who probably calms her down is Asuka. Asuka's out. She's got a knee issue. She just got surgery, so we might not see Asuka for a little while. So Damage Control might be damaged. No pun intended. 3 stars. Bullock, go.
Yeah, 3 stars. I mean, yeah. Even though Io gets the win, she just continues to attack her. I mean, I get with everything that she's going through, losing the women's title at WrestleMania. I mean, losing in the semifinals of the Queen of the Ring. It's like she's becoming unstable. And like you said, Asuka's normally the one that calms her down, but she's not there. And Dakota and Kairi don't know what the hell to do. Because if they were to try to calm her down with the state that she's in, who knows what the hell she would do to her own teammates. So this is going to be something we've got to keep an eye on. So nothing more to say. It's yours, Florio.
Yes, it's definitely something we indeed do have to keep an eye on. No question about that. 6-man tag team matchup. Braun Strowman, Rey Mysterio, and Dragon Lee versus Dominic Mysterio, JD McDonough, and Carlito. The winners of the match, 13 minutes and 55 seconds. It was Braun Strowman, Rey Mysterio, and Dragon Lee. But during the match, Liv Morgan gets involved, and Zelina Vega knocks her into the apron and on top of Dominic Mysterio.
Yikes.
Hey now.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's where the rolling R happened.
Or as
MF?
or as Shaggy would say on Scooby-Doo, zoinks.
Zoinks indeed. MF, it's only fitting you started off. Strowman, Mysterio, Dragon win the match in 13:55. But of course, I know what you're most looking forward to, getting into what happened at the hands of, and it was your girl, Zelina Vega, who made it all possible.
Yeah, she basically. And the thing is, I don't know if you guys have been noticing, Zelina and Liv have been throwing barbs at each other on social media. Now this, I think Zelina might be calling her shot. She wants a shot at that Women's World Championship. And who knows how that plays out. But yeah, look, she got involved. She hopped up on the apron. And Dominic's like, I don't want you here. You got to go. Get out of here. And everything else. And the next thing you know, Zelina knocks her off right into Dom. And basically, Dom's down looking like, what the F? He's looking up. There's Liv Morgan right there. And I think Pat McAfee pretty much said it. What the hell is going on? Everybody's like, oh, this is not PG. Get a room, you two. And me and Florio are both losing our minds. We're like, oh my God, you lucky son of a bleep. Michael Bullock, I know him. I know Bullock. Bullock is one of those. And I actually feel sorry for my boys. I feel sorry for the Keenans. I feel sorry for Ryan Abedisian. I'm sorry for those guys because I don't know if they seen this level of WWE. And this is uncharted waters for a lot of people around here. So I'm like, oh boy, this is going to be interesting how they're going to react about this. But I mean, wow. That's all I was just saying was wow. Then to see the cat fight, I like that even better. Go Zelina. I don't know. I don't even know what to even think. This was a good match. LWO gets a big win. Braun looked amazing. And yeah, this was about maybe 3 stars. There's really nothing more to add. Like I said, there's so much intrigue now with this Liv Morgan, Dominic Mysterio. But again, what is the what?
What's the end game?
Man. Yeah, what is the end game? Because Dom is trying to resist, and he's doing everything in his power to resist. But Liv is not, like, every little moment, every little thing, Liv is getting, like, it's like slowly but surely she's getting into Dom's head, and like you said, Michael Bullock, Rhea Ripley is probably getting more angrier and angrier and angrier by the moment.
But if you know Liv Morgan, she's probably like, "Hey, there ain't a damn thing you can do about it, Rhea."
For now, for now. But I mean, oh no,
no.
And the thing, and remember what she says. What she said too. I don't know if I'm even allowed to repeat what Liv said to Dom at the clubhouse, but whoa, that's all I'm gonna say.
But man,
you know what I'm talking about, Michael Bullock. You know what she said.
I actually heard it, and I was like, man, oh my, I really, I don't know what to make of this.
That's why I'm towing the line, because this is a PG show. So
I literally want to say it, but I feel like
it's
I'm
a
not
PG
doing
show. If this was Friday night, if this was Cerebral Smack Talk, I would let this go. But because this is Anthony and he's the host, I want to be nice to him, so I'm not going there.
Mind your P's and Q's, gentlemen.
And it's not like it's like anything offensive.
No, it's nothing offensive. It's nothing offensive, but there is some innuendos there that.
Yeah, and of course, getting to the whole Zelina Vega thing, and Fletch, we know that's your girl, and this all started when Zelina Vega threw shade at Liv Morgan and insulted her for the action of when she kissed Dominic. And Liv Morgan literally fired right back and said, this is what she said, and I quote, "You let Rhea beat and embarrass you in front of your family and home territory as you were wearing your flag draped on your back. Could never be me. And besides, I think I liked it." I was sitting there like, oh, shoot.
Yep. And
last thing you want to do is piss off a Latino woman.
Oh,
someone
no.
like Zelina Vega.
Get the chancleta. That's all I'm thinking in my mind is I know Zelina, she's probably like, where is my chancleta? I'm beating this girl over the head with it.
Yeah. Yeah, you mess with Fletch's girl, that you don't expect consequences to come with that. I don't think Zelina's forgotten about that for one freaking second. I mean, I'm telling you guys, Liv Morgan's playing with fire right now, not just with this whole Dominic thing, but with Zelina Vega right now. I mean, throwing shade at her for like how she let Rhea embarrass her in front of her family wearing the flag. I mean, think about it. And Fletch, you know about this more than I do. Zelina Vega, she got the biggest reaction. Hell, this is her home damn country, for gosh sakes. And in probably the biggest moment of her career. And for Liv to literally throw shade at her for what happened. Oh, no, Liv. You are making a lot of enemies right now. And it's not just with what she did with Liv Morgan, but what she did last week with Braun Strowman. I mean, God, and somehow Braun Strowman fell for it. And I'm going to ask you guys this. and I want you guys to be honest with me.
Let's have a debate about it.
Well, I'm just asking you this.
Okay.
If this were the Undertaker, would the Undertaker fall for Liv Morgan's antics?
Undertaker would not fall for Liv Morgan's antics, and I'll tell you why. Because the Undertaker has got class. The Undertaker is a man of honor. He's a man of integrity, just like you are, Bullet.
And here's the thing.
I am. Yes.
And here's the thing. Remember SummerSlam 2003? Remember when Sable tried to? I don't know.
Sable tried to use her assets. Yes, she sure did.
And Undertaker grabbed her by the throat. Do you really think Undertaker would do the same thing to Liv Morgan?
With that demented mind of his, it's very, very possible.
I think he would, because with his character, he would. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if he would choke slam her.
Oh yeah.
But getting back to
don't take guff from nobody.
Yeah, but getting back to this, I mean, yeah, the plot thickens more and more from this, and yeah, 3.25 on this. I mean, I was gonna give it 3.5, but all the craziness just really, yeah, I really don't know what to make of this. I mean,
I know how to make
the only one who knows the answers to all this is Liv Morgan herself. And God, I wish if we had her on here on this show, we would be grilling her.
Like
she would not. She would laugh at us and say, "Boys,
none of your damn business."
Not. It's none of our damn business. She's like, I'm just gonna keep you boys guessing. I'm just gonna keep you boys thinking and stewing over the ideas. Yep. Because we would have no idea what she's capable of or no idea what she's up to.
And let me ask you guys a question. Let me ask you, Bullet.
Here's another thing that I think she would say.
Oh yes,
and it's her new saying that she says. What is it? Was it cry over it?
Cry over
it.
Yeah. But let me ask you guys a question.
Sure.
What is the number one thing that Triple H and his creative regime takes more seriously than anything else when it comes to storylines? What is it?
The long-term booking.
You damn right.
Damn straight.
Do I need to rest my case?
Yep.
Thank you. So 3 to 3.25 stars. I was going to give it 3.5. Fine 6-man here. I like the spot at the end there with Dragon Lee on top of Braun Strowman. You know, it was a fun little throwback to Superfly Jimmy Snuka and Andre the Giant. It definitely conjured up memories of those two for me.
Remember when, and actually, Braun and Ricochet actually did a couple.
And Braun and Ricochet, yes, absolutely. And we got a lot to say about Ricochet later. Trust you me when I tell you. So, I know I do. But, anyways, let's continue on with the action. So, 3 to 3.25 stars. In-ring segment. Sami Zayn comes out, cuts a promo. Basically telling, Alpha Academy to stand up for themselves with Chad Gable. And it led into a match with Sami Zayn and Otis. Sami Zayn wins the match in 1.5 minutes. Unfortunately, not really much to get into here. There's nothing really to overly speak of here. More of the same, honestly. Then we had an announcement that the WWE champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, is going to appear on tomorrow night's edition of NXT. I know we're probably going to have a lot to say about that on Wednesday night, I'm sure. And then we had Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark squaring off against Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark win the match in 2.5 minutes. So nothing really to speak of on that as well. Oh, here we go. Be a man fight time, boys. This is the one we were waiting for. Braun Breaker versus Ilya Dragunov. And the winner of the match in an even 16 minutes, Braun Breaker. But later in the show, Ricochet, we all know what's going on with Ricochet. Ricochet gave his notice. He says, WWE, I'm done. And oh boy, did they put him out to pasture tonight. Oh my goodness, what Braun Breaker did. It was reminiscent of when Kevin Nash launched Rey Mysterio like a damn lawn dart into those production trucks at the old Universal Studios in the summer of '96 on Monday Nitro when the whole NWO started. He did that, and then he power slammed him on top of a car windshield. And then Samantha Irvin would leave, and a very interesting ring announcing situation later when it comes to the main event. Something that I know MF enjoyed very much. So, Braun Breaker defeats Ilya Dragunov in 16 minutes. Michael Bullock, the Be a Man fight we all knew it would be.
Yeah, this was definitely a Be a Man fight that we all expected it to be. I'll give this about 3.5 to 3 3/4 of a star. I mean, what a match this was. This was a Be a Man fight that we expected it to be. But yeah, afterwards, later on, my goodness, I mean, especially Ricochet after helping his friend out, and man, what he did, what Braun did to Ricochet, yeah, he got written off, and he got written off in a violent way. I mean, he got power slammed right onto the on that car windshield. Oh, that was. And the worst part was Samantha Irvin. Her saw it. I mean, and you saw on Instagram, she literally sprinted backstage, and you could just see that she was in tears. I mean, yes, I mean, we know the big story here. Ricochet giving his notice to WWE that he's done. My question to you guys, we know Ricochet is done. Could Samantha Irvin follow suit? Gosh, I really hope not.
I pray to God not, because she is the best ring announcer. She's the best ring announcer in wrestling today, and it's not even close. With all due respect to everybody else.
I know right now that was WWE's concern, and from what I've been told is that she's not going anywhere right now. From what I've heard is that yes, Ricochet has indicated that he is supposed to be leaving. However, they're saying don't expect that it's gonna be AEW right away. Some people are saying that he might end up going to Japan, going to New Japan Pro Wrestling for a little bit, but maybe eventually he might end up in AEW. But right now, I don't know. And then there's rumors that he might not even go to AEW at all. Some people are thinking that he's going to go to AEW because of this. Not necessarily. Hold on. So there even talk about him possibly going to New Japan Pro Wrestling, and Anthony maybe redeveloping the Prince Puma moniker from a la Lucha Underground. So we might get that. So I don't know. We'll wait and see what happens. But yeah.
Rumors I'm hearing are AEW, but I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to New Japan either. I wouldn't. Hopefully that answers your question, Bullock.
Yeah, I think it does, but like you said, yeah, I mean, for her to stay, I mean, it would be big because right now she is the best ring announcer right now in WWE. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see where Ricochet ends up. So, nothing more to say. It's yours, Florio.
Solid 4 stars. Ilya Dragunov and Braun Breaker rekindled their rivalry from NXT with a brutal, hard-hitting, unflinchingly physical match tonight. The best on the show to that point. They beat the hell out of each other in pursuit of victory. Braun Breaker looks even stronger than he did entering the bout, an unstoppable force who proved he could absorb tremendous punishment and still score the win. In Dragunov's case, he did what no other superstar could. He took Breaker to the brink of defeat, proving he is every bit his equal. Ricochet attacked Breaker after the match, stopping any further assault on Dragunov and standing tall to close out the segment until, of course, what Braun Breaker did to him in the back. So, to me, solid 4 stars, teetering on 4.25 for me. I could easily call this the fight of the night if I wanted to. So, not much more to say. MF, nothing more to say. Breaker, Dragunov, be a man fight, right up your alley.
Yep.
No doubt about it.
4 stars. I'm going to make this short and sweet. I know we're on time. So 4 stars. Florio, back to you.
All right. So let's see here. Then we had ourselves a World Tag Team, an impromptu World Tag Team Championship match. Awesome Truth defending the titles against AOP. Winners of the match in an even 6 minutes, and still the World Tag Team Champions. It is the Miz and R-Truth, the Awesome Truth, because of interference from the New Day. So I believe this one goes to me. So 2.25, 2.5. There is a reason the Final Testament has failed to connect with audiences the way some would have hoped, and at least a major part of it is inconsistent booking that sees the heels lose far more than they should. Case in point, this match, which in no way needed to be a championship bout. More importantly, it did not need to happen at all, as no one benefited in any measurable way. So basically a 2.25, 2.5 star match. Guys, if you want to get into it, feel free, or if not, then we can just move on. It's fine. So we're just going to move on from that. So main event of the evening, Drew McIntyre. Well, then of course we all remember. We all know what happened to Ricochet. Braun Breaker sought to avenge him. He beat the hell out of him, and then Samantha Irvin left, and this was definitely WWE's attempt to write Ricochet out of the show amid reports of his departure from the company. And then the main event of the evening, with special guest ring announcer Pat McAfee, with some very interesting ring introductions, if I do say so myself, especially Finn Balor. But he announced Drew McIntyre as the handsome bleep from Scotland. And then he introduced Finn Balor as a member of the bum-ass Judgment Day, said he has 0% body fat on a 225-pound frame. Drew McIntyre versus Finn Balor. Winner of the match in 13 minutes even. It's Drew McIntyre, and that means the Judgment Day is barred from ringside on Saturday. In the main event, McIntyre and Balor battled in an uber-competitive match that saw both men have the upper hand at different points. The latter worked over the injured right elbow while McIntyre fired up late, obliterating JD McDonough and Carlito as they attempted to interfere in the match, then laying his opponent out with a Claymore for the win. The victory ensures that Judgment Day will not be involved Saturday at Clash at the Castle, meaning Damian Priest must defend the World Heavyweight Championship against Drew McIntyre on his own. Given how vital Finn Balor, JD McDonough, and Dominic were in his victory over Jey Uso at Backlash in France last month, it'll be interesting to see if the Archer of Infamy can win without the assistance of his teammates. About 3.5 stars, I'd say. So not much more to say. MF, outcome never in doubt. Judgment Day barred from ringside. True one-on-one. McIntyre. It's going to be damn near easy pickings in front of the family and friends.
You would think, yeah, this has the feel of that history could be made. This could be McIntyre's moment, and it does feel like it now. So nothing more to say on that. It was definitely a 3-star bout, and yeah, Mike Bullock is yours.
I'll give it 3.5 stars for the main event. Yeah, now it will be Priest and McIntyre one-on-one for the World Heavyweight Championship. So nothing more to say. Overall thoughts.
MF starts it off.
And I got to give this another 7 to 7.5 out of 10. I thought it was a fine show. They did a good job with creating storylines and everything else. A lot of good storyline progressions. Yes, there was they had a few moments where it made us feel like 18 all over again, especially with the Liv Morgan stuff that was happening throughout the night. It felt like we were back in high school again, boys. What the heck, man? It was crazy. So yeah, no, there's really nothing more to say. This is a pretty damn good show, and I'll say about 7.5. And Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I'll give it about 7.5 as well. So nothing more to say. Florio, quick thought, and then we'll get into your Tony steak.
7 to 7.5. The storyline involving Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan has been extraordinary to this point, engaging the audience and creating a is he or isn't he element to it all. Add to the fact that Finn Balor was caught getting out of the same car as Morgan a few weeks back, then clearly picked up the hotel key card and put it in his pocket, and you have plenty of intrigue to keep the audience invested. Damian Priest mounting frustration with Judgment Day, Braun Breaker's Path of Rage, and the plight of Otis have all been stories that have been presented in near perfection over the last month, and this show continued them nicely. There were a few rough spots, particularly in the form of the women's tag team segment that accomplished nothing and benefited no one, but it was hardly enough to erase all of the positive elsewhere. That it's solidly built to Clash at the Castle only enhanced the quality of the show. 7 to 7.5. Quick preview here of Against All Odds. That will be exclusively on TNA Plus. It will air this Friday from the Cicero Stadium in Cicero, Illinois. On the countdown show, on the kickoff show, pre-show, Sami Callihan goes one-on-one with Jonathan Gresham. Eric Young and Josh Alexander will take on Ace Austin and Chris Bay, ABC. Steve Macklin and Mike Santana to take on the Rascals, Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz. Mustafa Ali to defend the X Division Championship against Trent Seven. The System, Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards will defend the TNA World Tag Team Championship against the Nemeth brothers, Nick Nemeth and Ryan Nemeth. Jordan Grace, open challenge for the TNA Knockouts World Championship. And in the main event, Moose will defend the TNA World Heavyweight Championship against the Broken One himself. Yes, Matt Hardy. So that all goes down on Friday night. I'll have a review of it next week. I'll have the results, I should say. So that's it. So until so that will put the bow on this edition of Ridiculously Raw. We want to thank you all so very much for tuning in. Good old MF right on cue. Let's hit him up with that future content for this week.
Well, Wednesday night, we do it all over again with Wednesday Night Madness, of course, NXT, and AEW Dynamite, and then we'll also
Game 3.
We'll also have Game 3 of the NBA Finals. We'll have the recap for that game as well, and then on should we do Thursday or should we do Friday this week, guys? Because I'm trying to figure it out. I'm thinking. Actually, no, it has to be Friday because of the RWA thing. So Friday night will be another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk, SmackDown Live. We will preview the RWA. The
RWA is the following week.
Okay, following week. So let's see. Actually,
we got Clash at the Castle this weekend.
Clash at the Castle. UFL championship game and the big 3 starts. So we got that, yeah.
So a loaded show on Friday.
What
do we got? SmackDown. We got.
And don't forget Game 4 of the NBA Finals.
Yep.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah, we'll have to put our heads together on that one.
Yes.
So, but Wednesday for sure.
Yeah.
That'll be Wednesday Night Madness. MF will have it. Usual start time, 10:30 or so.
Yes.
All right. MF will have that, as we will have NXT. We will have AEW Dynamite and the Game 3 edition of the Celtics chat. Celtics Mavericks, game 3 of the NBA Finals. And then and then Friday, looking like SmackDown, a preview of Clash at the Castle, a preview of the UFL Championship. Well, actually, we could bump that to the Saturday show. We could bump that to the Clash at the Castle review on Saturday if we want to. So we could do SmackDown, preview of Clash at the Castle, and then the game 3, and then game 4 of the Celtics chat.
All right, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
And then Saturday will be the recap. Obviously, the UFL Championship game preview.
Because it's on Sunday.
That is on Sunday.
And then next Monday night, we do it all again. Ridiculously Raw. So that's it. So until Wednesday night, for Wednesday Night Madness, over on the MF channel, Raceway 95, this is Anthony Florio here. For good old MF Michael Fletcher. For the Phenom Michael Bullock. And of course, in spirit, always and forever, the first lady of our shows, the one and only Twisted Angel, Dee Dee Woodson. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah, Twitter, Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed couple of days. And until Wednesday night, for Wednesday Night Madness, you've been watching Ridiculously Raw right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube and streaming.com. And remember, my friends, no matter what anyone tells you beyond anything else, wrestling is indeed actually real. For everybody who has been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio, so long, and bye, everybody. Bye.